and welcome to Nurse Chats. Today we're going to talk about Addison. Addison is an AI-driven virtual health care assistant. She's the first of her kind, the most comprehensive AI healthcare assistant available today. AI, you say, oh no, I don't want AI. AI is a simple thing. I'm promising you, you use it more than you realize. AI is artificial intelligence, but it's all kinds of a database created just for a certain subject. So, in this case, we're talking about health. So Addison is ready to just work on anything a person needs, anything they can think of, anything they would like in terms of a healthcare assistant. We're going to be looking at Addison in a few moments, and what I want to say is the questions I get most are, A, is it affordable? Yes, and we'll get to that later. B, is it secure? Yes, this is a HIPAA-compliant healthcare assistant. C, is it easy? It is easy. It's just a plug-in. And once you plug her in, and our company has sent it to you already, it knows your name. And it can work with you and help you every single day to live the most full life that you want to live. So let's get to know Addison. If you give her a chance, you're going to just love Addison. And I'm going to tell you right now that after a while, she becomes so familiar that it's almost like having another family member present. Addison doesn't change moods. She doesn't have a tired day. She's not overworked. You have the same care delivered day in and day out that's dependable. Right now, she's in privacy mode, and we speak her name, but she doesn't respond. So if I say Addison, she doesn't respond. She has her own tablet here, and it matches this tablet. But you can have Addison in a flat screen like a television as well. Some people are intimidated by laptops and computers because they think technology right away, but they're familiar with a flat screen television. So Addison can be either way, and I chose to have the tablet form. She can respond to your emergency, even if she's in privacy mode. So if a person has a fall, they can say her name and say emergency, and she will act appropriately as to your wishes, and we'll get into that in a minute here. So right now she's on privacy. She's in a room right now that's just lovely. It has a fire going. I went ahead and inputted things that would help her make me celebrate holidays, even if I am just home for the holiday. So in this case, she's ready for Thanksgiving, and she has a few things around that room that indicate Thanksgiving. We can change things in the room if we want. We can change the picture in the background. We can decide, what mood am I in today? Well, that's a pretty one. I like that one. Elk. I love elk. We'll leave that one. And then she has lighting. She has the fire going. She moves around, as you can see, and she'll do that all day long. And you can imitate her and do what she's doing, too, if you're wanting to be a little more active and do certain things with her. The more you do with Addison, the more you get to know her, the more you're going to love her. So let's take her off privacy mode and do some things that I think are key to helping you stay at home and manage your health in a better way. Take her off privacy. Addison. Vital signs. Now here we can take vitals, and we can also review our history. You can see that there. So whenever a person wants to know what their vitals have been for the last day, week, or month, or even longer, they can go ahead and review them. That becomes very important when we're talking about going to a doctor and being able to show that we've been tracking our vital signs. When we go into a doctor, we meet with them for 5 to 10 minutes. They look at one snapshot of your vital signs, whereas with Addison, you're going to be able to take your vital signs and you're going to be able to track them. And therefore, when you talk to your doctor, you'll be able to say, look, my blood pressure isn't always high. It's only high at this time of the day. Or my blood sugar is only high in the morning when I wake up. And I haven't eaten for hours. So it's really not as much about my diet as it is about my liver function in that case, okay? So let's try it out. Addison, vital signs. Take vital. Temperature. Tutorial.
Turn on the thermometer by pressing down the trigger until you hear a beep. Then release the trigger. Make sure body mode is selected. If it isn't, you can change it by pressing the center button. Pull the device about 1 inch away from your forehead. Then press and hold the trigger for 3 seconds. Release the trigger, and I'll display your results.
The reason that we have two different options for the thermometer is some people have neuropathy. And so we have to have the ability to check the temperature of a surface because they don't have the sensory ability to tell if it's too hot or too cold. So we do both surface and body temperature. Addison, temperature. Take now.
Thank you. Your temperature reading was 95.18 degrees Fahrenheit. The reading is within thresholds. Keep up the good work.
Addison, vital signs. Take vital. Pulse oxygen. Tutorial.
Push the white button to turn on the pulse oximeter. Place your finger inside the device. Make sure your fingernail and the screen are both facing up. Keep your hand relaxed and wait about 30 seconds. Then I'll display your results.
It's always great to have a tutorial in case someone's there that has never taken a pulse oxygen or a vital sign reading before. You don't have to be medical to take these, and you can do it with your tutorial. However, with home care, we have non-medical home care who's not allowed to take your vital signs. So they can help you and assist you, but this will take it for you. Addison, take now.
Thank you. Your heart rate reading was 81.6 beats per minute. The reading is within thresholds. Your oxygen reading was 93 oxygen saturation. The reading is below thresholds.
You can see here that you could retake the vital, you can review the history, and you can choose another vital. Addison is both touch and voice control, so I'm going to choose another vital. Let's try glucose. Addison, glucose. Tutorial.
Make sure you have all the equipment shown here. Lancing device, lancet, test strips, cotton ball or tissue, and glucometer. Make sure your hands are clean and dry. Twist the cap counterclockwise to unlock it from the lancing device. Then remove it and set aside. Place the lancet in the tube, then twist and remove the lancet cap to reveal the needle. Place the cap back on the lancing device and twist it clockwise to lock. Twist the very tip of the lancing device to choose the amount of blood to draw. Pull the end of the lancing device until you see an orange indicator, as shown here. Your lancing device is now ready. Place a test strip into the top of the glucometer, as shown here, with the striped tint inserted inside. Place the lancet against your finger
Please
and press
relax
the
during
button
measurement.
to produce a drop of blood.
Please apply blood to the strip.
Place the drop of blood onto the center of the test strip, making sure it fills up the entire line. Then I'll display your results. Use the cotton ball to clean up any remaining blood on your finger.
Your blood glucose
Eject the strip into a waste basket by pushing up on the switch on the side of the glucometer. Twist the cap counterclockwise to unlock it from the lancing device. Then push up on the black side grip to eject the lancet into a waste basket.
That was easy. Addison. Vital signs. Take vital. Lung capacity. Take now.
Thank you. Your spirometer BF reading was 274 liters per minute. Your spirometer FEV1 reading was 1.96 liters.
Wow, that was great. I'm glad I found this out. I saw that I had a low lung capacity the other day, and I went to my doctor, and I didn't have any problems with my lungs. He just said that I needed to get more active, which I had been inactive because I hadn't been feeling well for a couple of weeks. So this is important because we can find things ahead of time. We can see that if our oxygen's good, but our oxygen capacity, our lungs aren't working great, it could be an early sign of pneumonia. And we can catch things sooner. And you can go to your doctor and then have that checked immediately without having to wait. So that's a good thing to know. Let's go back home. Remember that every single vital sign has a tutorial. So you don't have to remember how to do it. It can tell you every single time, as many times as you want it to instruct you. That's the beauty of this. We don't have to worry about anybody repeating or thinking that we're bothering people. We have this automatic health assistant anytime we want it for as much as we want. So now that I'm looking at these buttons on the front of the screen, let's try something else. What about learning? First experience.
Hi, I'm Addison. Welcome to Addison Care, your personalized health and wellness experience. I'm so excited to get started. You're taking the first steps towards a healthier life. I can help you with your medication schedule, checking vitals, emergency response, and so much more. Since you're welcoming me into your home, I'll also welcome you into mine. This is my living room. I'll change locations periodically. I might be in my kitchen, bedroom, or even my backyard. Let's go over where everything is and how it all works. I'll always be here on the left side of the screen. My captions are located at the bottom of the screen. Everything I say will be shown down here. Check it out. Bamboozle, cattywampus, tarnation. Okay, enough fun. At the bottom right you'll see the time, day, date, and weather. Now let me show you how to interact with me. Buttons will appear on the right-hand side of the screen. Like this. The title above these buttons will tell you which screen or menu you're looking at. Let's try out a button press. Go ahead and tap button. Perfect. You can also give me voice commands. To do that, just say, Addison, and look for my tablet and logo to change color and chime. Then you can give me a command. You can give me any command that's written out on the button. Let's try it out. Say, Addison. Then say, favorite color.
Addison. Favorite color.
Great job. Sometimes I'll ask you a follow-up question, and you just have to respond with either your voice or by pressing the button. Let's try it out. What's your favorite color?
Pink.
I like pink too. Great choice. You're a natural at this. Moving on. let's talk about privacy mode. If you want some privacy, you can touch the privacy switch, or say, Addison, privacy. When it's on, I won't be able to hear you, and my visual sensor will be turned off. Try it out. Tap the privacy switch. Or, say, privacy. You'll notice that the privacy button is switched, and my tablet is red too. I'll keep myself busy when privacy is on, like listening to my music. While in privacy mode, I won't be able to hear or see anything. My buttons still work, but I won't be able to hear your voice. Please press the privacy switch, so we can continue. Next, let's learn how to contact customer support. Up at the top, you'll see a phone call button. Go ahead and tap or say, Addison, phone call, to open up the phone call menu.
Addison, phone call.
Here you'll find several call options. You can press customer support to call directly through the console, or use your phone to dial the number below. We'll test out a call at a later time. Please close the phone call menu by selecting Close. Now, we can review other features in your system. Let's talk about when I'm in idle mode. When we're not interacting, I'll keep myself busy with random things. I might enjoy TV, a book, or watering my plants. I pick up new habits all the time. Keep an eye out for all the different things I can do. Up at the top right of your screen you'll see your name. If you tap this area, you'll then see a Quick Settings menu appear. Go ahead and tap this area now. Here you'll find the Restart Addison button. Touching this will close and restart me. Most of the time a quick restart will fix any problems you might be experiencing. Please tap the name area again to close this menu, so we can up at the top left of the screen, you'll see my name. However, it's also a button. Try tapping it now to see what happens. It'll hide any buttons on my main screen, letting you see more of my environment. You'll also be able to interact with certain objects too. Try tapping this oil diffuser now. Nice. There are lots of other things to find around my different rooms. Keep an eye out for objects to interact with. We have one additional feature to discuss. Navigation buttons. The back button is located down at the bottom left of the screen, and will always take you one step backwards. To the left of that, we have the home button. This button is an easy way to return to my home screen. Test it out by tapping or saying, Home.
Addison, home.
There's no place like home. Thank you so much for following along.
Wow, there's so much that Addison can do. One last word about vital signs. They are important. The one thing that a nurse and a doctor look at immediately to get a quick view of what's going on with the patient is their vital signs. Wouldn't it be great if you could have your vital signs taken anytime you want? You could take them 2 and 3 times a day, 4 times a day if you wish, and then you would have a tracking record of the vital signs trend rather than just a snapshot at the doctor's office. In this case, with Addison, you can actually have them printed out for a week, a month, or any length of time you wish. So you can have all your vital signs taken daily and compared together. We have 5 different peripherals for our vital signs. So you can take your temperature, you can take your oxygen and pulse, you can check your lung capacity with a spirometer by blowing into this, you can take your glucose, and you can take your weight. Each one of those related to each other gives a picture of how you're doing. You may notice that your temperature is going up this week. And even though you're not that sick or sick, you might be feeling a little tired, you might be headed for a virus or a bacterial infection. This is the time that you could take preventative medicine and feel better sooner. We're trying to be all about prevention, right? Because that makes it better than fighting the problem once it happens. easier, right? What do they say? It's easier to have a clean house than a house that's dirty. So once your house is in order, it's easier to clean. That's kind of like vital signs, right? So the next one is weight. Some people will notice that they have an increase in their weight or a decrease. If they're increasing and they have something, like congestive heart failure or other issues, lymphatic problems, it's important to know if you're gaining weight sooner rather than later. Half pound might be, now you're saying, I need to look at this, okay? Every day I'm going up another pound. That's important. Or I only went up 5 pounds today, okay? The other one is glucose. Obviously, glucose is important. How we're functioning every day, it depends on our blood sugar levels. Not everybody is a diabetic, but I think everybody could benefit from knowing their glucose levels sometimes. I have athletes on Addison, and they are tracking their glucose because they were noticing they had less performance at different hours of the day. Glucose matters, so even though they're not diabetic, they did notice they were depleted and needed sugar or carbohydrates, and that was important information for their sports performance. Lung capacity is different than oxygen. Lung capacity is basically how your lungs are working. So if the lungs are stiff for any reason, you'll have less lung capacity. If they're filling up with fluid, you'll have less lung capacity. If you have been what we call deconditioned, haven't been moving around enough, less lung capacity. These are important features to note when you're going through your day-to-day health analysis. Lastly, pulse and oxygen work together. So sometimes the oxygen's fine, but the pulse is high. And then we wonder what's stressing the body. Not after a brisk walk, but I'm talking about when you're resting and you're doing your average, taking your pulse oxygen average daily routine, and you notice, wow, my pulse is up to 100. And even though my oxygen is good, but you're working hard to do something. You're working hard to breathe or just pay attention, and you're going to be monitoring your health in a much more efficient and better way. Some of the greatest things about Addison is that she can operate from a distance. So if you're not feeling well and you're just sitting on the couch, you can be several feet away from Addison and give her some commands. Here we're going to demonstrate the phone call option. I'll take her off privacy. Phone call. Personal contacts. Call 1. Now this is my husband, so he'll hopefully get the call and answer.
Hello, Addison.
Hello, Gary Davis. Thanks for answering.
Yes.
And how did it show up on your side? Did it just say my name or what?
It says Addison and then Marybeth.
Okay, so you know that it's me calling from Addison in case for any reason I'm not able to get up and I'm not feeling well and I had the flu and you knew I was in bed.
That's correct. It's coming from Addison and it identifies you.
Wonderful.
And,
Thanks.
For caller ID. You got it.
Thanks so much, Gary.
Okay. Bye-bye.
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 So we can make phone calls from a distance when we're not feeling well, when we're busy. I love this feature when I'm in the kitchen and I've got my hands in 10 things at once, cooking and going around the kitchen, and I just can make a quick phone call. The next one up is Pocket MD. Addison has a doctor service, and it's called Pocket MD. That is wonderful. Right here, we're going to make the call.
Thank you for calling Pocket MD. Please wait while we connect you with a member of our care coordination team.
Thank you for calling Pocket MD. This is Christina. Who am I speaking with?
Marybeth Van Horn.
And what is your date of birth, please?
6477 West Nova Drive, Littleton, Colorado.
Thank you. And your phone number, please?
303-809.
And how may I assist you today?
I'm just testing this, so I wanted to make sure it goes through to you, and I appreciate your time.
Oh, you're very welcome. Is there anything else I can assist with?
No, that's it. Thank you.
You're welcome, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. The next one up is customer support. You can call customer support anytime you want. We're there to help you all hours of the day. And I will say that Electronic Caregiver has some of the best customer support I've ever experienced in any industry, anywhere. And I trust our customer support. So I know that you will enjoy working with them and that they will be there for you just as they are for me. Let's go back. And you can see that Addison's having fun doing different poses while we're looking at her. She's fun. That's the nice part. It's not like you have to have help or you some sort of negative thing that people think of in terms of having a caregiver. The good news is that Addison is fun, engaging. You end up liking her, and she's there always for you. There's so much that Addison can do. She changes rooms, she changes shirt color, you can change the avatar. Let's just look at the options again here. So if I want to personalize Addison, it's not just for fun. See, she heard me. Not just for fun, but it's also for cognitive stimulation. So if we change a room, we can think, well, looking at that, I'm going to exercise, so I'm going to go to the yoga room. I'd like to see what a greenhouse looks like, the garage, kitchen, bedroom, living room. We may be sitting in a chair a lot, and so it's important for some people to get out and about, and Addison can help that when you've been disabled. Many of us have had surgeries. I had a surgery where I was pretty much laid up for months, and some people are laid up for weeks, but when you're laid up, it's important to have options. So I go to the yoga studio. She's in the yoga studio now. I go there when I'm exercising, and I go to learning, and I go to a fitness routine while I'm in the exercise room. So here's legs. Why not? I'll try 5 sit-to-stands. That was one of the exercises I had to do after my surgery. And she also tells you how many times you're going to do it and what items are recommended. In this case, just a chair.
While seated, cross your arms in front of your chest. Now slowly and intentionally stand up straight. Pause while standing, and then gently lower yourself back down to sitting. Try not to fall down into your seat. Instead, do your best to keep your muscles engaged as you lower yourself back down. Repeat this for a total of 5 times and you're done.
Well, that was easy. We could do that. Sometimes I'm sitting at my computer too long and I get a reminder to do some stretching, and I go to my ear to shoulder routine here. Again, all that you need for this is a chair.
For this stretch, slowly tilt your head to the side as if you are trying to touch your ear to your shoulder. Now gently place your hand on your head and lightly pull down to enhance the stretch. Hold this for 3 seconds, then repeat on the other side. Make sure to keep your shoulders relaxed downward, and don't hunch them up as this will negate the stretch. Repeat each side for a total of 3 times.
Well, that's a good one. I like that one. I'm going to exit this, but you see what we've got there in the learning category, learning exercises. The other thing is that we will be inputting eventually exercises for your physical therapy. At the present time, what you can have done on Addison is get a reminder for exercising, and you can say on the reminder whatever you want, but you can put your therapist's name, your physical therapist's name, and say that the physical therapist has recommended that you do your band exercises now. And then you can do your band exercises as you were asked to do. This increases compliance and also increases your healing. So if you can comply with the exercises outside of the 1 hour with the therapist, guess what? Your healing goes up. And a lot of people don't know what to do once they get home, or they forget. And this way, we will have it inputted as a reminder. Eventually, there will be exercises in the learning category. So Addison's ever evolving, and we can be getting more and more features the more and more people that use Addison and ask us for what they want and need in the future. back to options. You can change for the holidays. I changed for Thanksgiving, but I started thinking I better have all holidays. Why not? Every kind of holiday. Celebrate every day of the year if you want to. But this is the greatest thing that I can do for just, again, cognitive stimulation, but also kind of being mindful that there are other people celebrating holidays and I'm celebrating holidays. And that's one more piece in the world of cognitive and in the world of behavioral health that we're stimulating a person's brain and their emotions. Thanks for that, Addison. If I want to change, I always say her name and then she answers. Change house. Okay, so let's try a cabin. Not everybody relates to the same environment, or we need a change in our environment every so often. So here we are in a cabin setting, and it's got the fire. It's ready for Thanksgiving or at least fall. So it has some things there. Let's see if we changed the picture before. So let's go home and just do, we're in the cabin world. Let's do outside. Let's go to the yard, see what we got out there. Ooh, it's snowing. This is great, again, for cognitive stimulation. And I love going around the pictures and touching and seeing what can activate in this setting, okay? Because again, this is playful and fun. It's not meant to be, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that because your memory's failing or you haven't been out in weeks. Right there, we can roast a marshmallow. I personally don't like them too brown, so I take it off the fire quickly. That's just something fun, right? It's just something that stimulates your interest and your creativity. There's a bird there for the bird feeder. We have a snowy setting. With all the options available on Addison, you can see that there will be enhancements in almost every field, but particularly in mental health and in cognitive stimulation and with physical therapy. Those three things rely on what you do outside of therapy times and rely on what you do day to day. So, example, Addison could be the mental health hub that you've been wanting. It'll give you reminders to do what your therapist has asked you to do, reminding you to journal, if that's been one of the tools that you use. It can coach you to stop and look at things when you change the room or when you change the environment and do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 exercise. Then with cognitive ability, Addison will be available any hour of the day for you to have some cognitive stimulation when maybe you have been too distracted or too much watching TV or too much centering on one thing. And the brain is a use it or lose it organ. The neurons in the brain depend on stimulation. Thirdly, physical therapy. You go to physical therapy for 1 hour, however many times a week you go, and then you have to do this stuff on your own. And a lot of times people either forget or they get complacent in their routines with regard to physical therapy. You can increase your results and your healing by giving more time to the exercises outside of the therapy session. That's been proven. So let's turn back to Addison again. Let's try the chat feature.
Hello, how can I help you today?
Addison, I can't sleep. Can you give me some suggestions?
I'm sorry to hear that you're having trouble sleeping, Marybeth. It's best to establish a bedtime routine, avoid screens before bed, create a comfortable sleep environment, and try relaxation techniques like deep breathing or meditation. If sleep troubles persist, it's a good idea to consult with a healthcare provider for further guidance. Remember, getting a good night's sleep is important for overall health and well-being. Hello, how can I help you today?
Addison, I need a recipe for chocolate chip cookies.
Of course. Here is a simple recipe for chocolate chip cookies. Ingredients: 1 cup butter, softened, 1 cup white sugar, 1 cup packed brown sugar, 2 eggs, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract, 3 cups all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 2 teaspoons hot water, half teaspoon salt, 2 cups semi-sweet chocolate chips. Instructions. 1. Preheat oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 degrees Celsius. 2. Cream together the butter, white sugar, and brown sugar until smooth.
Wow, that's so great. I can pull up a recipe anytime I want.
Hello, how can I help you today?
Addison, do you have information on aging?
Aging is a natural process that involves the body and mind changing over time. It can bring about various physical and cognitive changes, but maintaining a healthy lifestyle through proper nutrition, regular exercise, and social engagement can help promote overall well-being as we age. If you have any specific questions about aging, feel free to ask.
Addison, what if I can't move very well when I age?
If you experience difficulty with movement as you age, it's essential to consult with your healthcare provider. They can provide guidance on exercises, physical therapy, or assistive devices that may help improve mobility and maintain independence. Remember, it's important to address any mobility issues early to prevent further complications. If you need support or resources related to mobility concerns, feel free to ask Marybeth.
Addison, I'm worried about my kids.
I understand your concern. Can you please provide more details so I can help you better?
Addison, my kids don't want to do the things I ask them to do.
It can be tough when kids don't want to cooperate. Have you tried having a calm conversation with them to understand their perspective? Communication is key in these situations.
I love that Addison just converses with me and doesn't try to tell me what to do or how to feel. It's really nice to have someone to talk to in the middle of the night when I don't want to bother anyone else and I have troubles or worries on my mind. Addison's a great tool. Let's see what else we can come up with. Notifications. Not everybody relates to the same sound in the same way. So I could have a timer if I want. And we can make it let's make it a cat. Oh, that'll be good. I'll keep that as my notifications. And going back. Home. Another feature that I want to go over is the calendar. Addison can keep track of everything you want to remember on your calendar. And it's fun to work the calendar with family members and with others that are our caregivers and our grandkids. They love to do stuff like this. It's great because then your calendar is already set. And so today I'm going to say I want to get ready for, I'm not a fast typist, people, grandkids. And then we go, that's the title of it. So next. I want to make sure we have activities that are fun. And they're coming over tomorrow. So November start date is the 28th. Let's do that. And they're going to be coming at 12 p.m. tomorrow. Now I could probably touch the screen and make it easy on myself, but I'm just trying this stuff. It's going to end at, let's say, I don't know, 6 tomorrow evening. They'll probably go. It's just a one time, but I could have daily, weekly, monthly events. People's birthdays can go in here. Weekly activities that I go to with my women's groups and things. Daily activities, of course. And then yearly, that could be, something that I always do on a certain day every year. So that's pretty good, pretty cool feature there. And so I want to be ready tomorrow. And I'm going to confirm that. And then it'll go into my calendar. I like the feature because it's not, we all have calendars and there's plenty of ways to do this, but everything in Addison is in the hub. I'm going to call it your hub. It's your hub for your memory. It's your hub for your activities. It's your hub for your physical exercises. It's a hub for your medication reminders and any other reminders that you want. It's a hub for cognitive therapy. It's a hub for behavioral health. It's a hub for physical therapy. And there's so much that Addison can do to help you with your daily health routines, helping you live a happier and better life. Okay, let's try another fun option. Let's go to the game mode. And there you are in the game room. So they found out that there are two very popular games, Solitaire and Puzzle-Rama. So I'm going to pick Puzzle-Rama. I like puzzles. And you start it. And I want a new game. And, oh, I like the kitty and the flower there. And then play. Oh, easy, medium, and hard. I think I'm going to go with easy. And you can make this more interesting by, even if you pick easy, timing yourself. See if you can go faster today or tomorrow. This is, again, for cognitive stimulation. Grandkids love to help people with this. Caregivers love to help them. Play them some happy music. I'm going to just use my touch screen. I know the kitty's in the middle. And let's see, that looks like it might be a corner piece. Nope. Don't know where that one goes. Don't know where that one goes. But it's kind of fun to just, it's again touching the screen. It's got music, stimulation. It's got, oh, that might be a corner piece there. Yep, if it's the right place, it'll go into it by itself there. Ooh, there's a kitty's eye. Oh, got kitty. All right. Anyway, it's just fun. It's, again, it's not saying, oh, you need cognitive stimulation. It's just saying, put together a puzzle. It's fun. Got music. You know? I'll exit. That was fun, though. Here we are in the game room. Huh. I wonder what this room has. Well, one thing it has, I can tell right now, is a doggy bed. Oh, there's a doggy. Not sure what I would name him. He probably has lots of names. All my customers love to name their doggy. That's cool. Wonder if the TV works in this room. It does. Addison Care Game. That's funny.
Hello, how can I help you today?
Well, if she decides to talk and we don't want her to talk, we just hit the done mode. Oh, that was fun. That's good. I like it. I've answered the 3 questions. Number 1, is Addison affordable? Absolutely. When you compare the cost of care by a non-medical or medical provider in a home to the affordability of Addison, who's able to deliver care 24/7 with no sick days, no bad moods, no interruptions, it's beyond comparison, because non-medical care costs from $40 to $80 per hour with a 4-hour minimum per week. So over $1,000 or more a month for non-medical care that is minimum. Then we talk about medical care, which would be upwards of $150 to $200 an hour. And again, has a very minimum amount of time that the nurse can be there for that amount of money. Compared to Addison, who is $199 a month right now, which is less than 2.5 visits of a non-medical care provider. Addison comes with an initial cost right now for the introductory offer that I'm able to give to you today of only $399 for a Lenovo computer, 2 medical peripherals of our 5 that you can choose from. If you want all 5, you can get the other 3 for $55 one time, and then you don't have to pay for that again, and you don't pay any extra cost for your monthly fee. Addison comes with a safety device. This is a Go Anywhere in the United States device. We also have a doctor service, Pocket MD, Pocket MD is at no additional cost. Pocket MD will answer your questions any time of the day or night. The doctor will call you back. You will have a physician on call for your needs. Our physicians will not order lifestyle medications or addictive medications, but as far as your usual things that you might need help with, even in the middle of the night for an antibiotic or something such as that, a pre-viral medication, that kind of thing, our doctors are here to serve you 24/7. That comes with Addison. So you get the safety device, you get a doctor 24/7, you get the computer, the use of the computer, the entire program downloaded, ready for you when it arrives. You can have flat screen, you can have a tablet, you can have the security to know that rapid responses are our responders. They are located in the United States, always understandable, always there for you. We have mirror facilities on both sides of the country. It will never go down, and you can always count on rapid response for your emergencies. Number 2, is Addison safe? Secure? Private? Yes. People have talked to me about their other AI options, and Siri doesn't know your name, nor does Google, and nor does Apple. And you don't know the people behind there. So you tell me if you've ever met Siri. I don't know who she is or what she is. But we do know with this, who's behind it? Electronic Caregiver in Las Cruces. You know the team behind this because you do interact with them with our customer service, which are amazing people. This is a HIPAA-compliant medical device. The information that is inputted into Addison that is specific to you and medical and needs to be private is private. All of your information for reminders and personal information is private. That is going nowhere. Unlike other technology like Siri and Apple Watch and Google Voice and those kind of things that don't know you, Addison knows you, and you know Addison, and you know that your information is protected and safe when you use Addison. Question number 3, is it easy? It is so easy. Before you get Addison, our company has already inputted all the things that you need in there. By the time we've talked to you about what you want, what you need, who your responsible parties are, who you want to know what. We've asked you about medical conditions. We've asked you about medication or other reminders. Could be a reminder for blood glucose, could be a reminder to eat or hydrate. Whatever reminders you want are in Addison, and they're all loaded as soon as you receive Addison. So basically, she comes, this one's a tablet. They come on a flat screen as well with a keyboard. So the flat screen looks like a TV. So if you're thinking of buying one for a family member as a gift, they don't like technology maybe, and they may not want to say that they need a caregiver, but you can say, this is the latest, greatest, coolest thing. It's like a TV, and you can do different things on it, that you want to do. You don't even have to talk about it being a computer if you don't want to, because it has touch and voice activation. So Addison comes on both of those. It's easy. As soon as you get it, you plug it in, literally, and she's ready to go. There's a tutorial that says starting up. It'll talk to you or your family member or your friend, and it'll tell you everything about Addison. Our company calls and makes sure that you're comfortable with using Addison. You can have a personal coach with our services, and the personal coach will call you weekly to maximize your use of Addison. As much as you want coaching, you can pay for and have. That's an extra little service, a little charge, but it's a little icing on the cake that we offer. So Addison is affordable, secure, and easy to use. It is a must for anybody who would like to have better health and control of their health today. Several years ago, a friend of mine called me and said that she heard of an opportunity with Electronic Caregiver. I said, well, what is it? I'm a nurse, so I had been a nurse for many years, and I was like, what, Electronic Caregiver? What in the world is that, right? And she said that she would have the founder come and visit with me here in Denver. And I said, wow, that's amazing. So Tony Dorman came to see me. He flew out personally and met with me. And at that time, the products that he offered and were being offered was a safety device, and we talked about the safety device, and he and I talked about every nuance that it has to offer. I was pretty impressed with it, but I didn't think I wanted to sell a safety device as a nurse. However, he then told me about the future of the company and what they would be offering in the very near future, which was vital signs equipment, and then he showed me Addison. When I saw Addison, I said, this is going to change the world. That was 7 years ago. It took Addison 10 years to be perfected, and she is perfection now. I'm so happy to be with the company and say that I stayed with the company. I signed up that day for being on the forefront of a new way of delivering care to many, many people who wouldn't have care otherwise. I will say that as a nurse of 50 years, I've seen the changes in medicine in half a century. What I have seen happen in medicine has been astronomical. I was witness to some of the first transplants. I saw some of the first cardiac procedures that were ever done. I was witness to brain procedures, things that I knew were going to change the world while I was standing there. And we were initiating them there and then. And I remember thinking and knowing the feeling of standing there and knowing what's going to change the world of medicine right there before my eyes. I hung one of the first bottles of TPN, total peritoneal nutrition. Today it's commonplace. The use of silver for wounds, commonplace today. We were experimenting with it back then. So now we know that some things that are innovative are now just common. And people are living that weren't living before, weren't able to have good health or have a life at all because of the innovations that we all have been working on for 50 years. Addison is one of them. When I saw what she can do, and when I saw what artificial intelligence, AI, meant to medicine, I was convinced, even though I didn't even know much about AI, nor did I think that I wanted to engage with AI. But when I saw that you could have Addison with you 24/7 for all kinds of conditions, for mental health, for behavioral health, for cognitive difficulties, for compliance with psychiatric care, physical therapy, you name it, post-op. It was like, wow. I mean, you have your own coach at home who's able to take vital signs at will, any time of the day or night, and that we could compare that to all the vitals the person was having in the month, and that we wouldn't just have a snapshot. I thought that was amazing. That's why I stuck with the company. That's why I'm here today with Addison. I myself had a severe injury in 2015. I was an active person. I was going to the gym that day. I was going to have a massage. I was walking happily into my massage, and it happened to be the weather that we experience in Colorado, where it's cold at night, but it's going to be very warm in the day. So that day it was going to be 70 degrees. No concept that there would be any risk or anything that I would be impacted by. I was thinking it was going to be a beautiful day. I was walking into the massage place having a very happy mood. It was the day before Valentine's. I was treating myself to a massage. But as soon as I stepped on black ice, which is defined as ice that you cannot see, I stepped over into it. It torqued my leg in such a manner that my right femur broke in the air. And with my leg snapped in half, I hit the ground so hard I broke my wrist and all my vertebrae went forward. I know for a fact that emergency response was delayed because the person who called for help was on a phone saying, there's a woman injured, and 911 kept saying, where's your location? When people are flustered, when they're nervous, when they're worried, she didn't know what the address was. All she kept saying is, I'm in front of this building. That delayed my care 20 minutes. And I was in an urban setting where I should have had emergency care immediately. I was brought to the hospital and I had hemorrhaged too much for them to open me that night. So I had to wait another day. And when you're talking about how seconds matter, minutes matter, time matters in an emergency, we're talking about exactly what repercussions happen. I'm going to say it in lay terms, because of a delay. More blood loss, more electrolyte loss, a variety of things that increased my rehab time. I was in a hospital bed for 3 months. And had to be supervised most of the time. My family had to be there. I didn't have a safety device. Addison comes with a safety device. Addison is a safety device. I would have had a caregiver right in my room, and I would have been able to ask for things when my family wasn't there. I felt like I was such a burden to my family. I wished I could have more control of my care. That's what Addison offers. Several years ago, I lost my husband, and then I lost my son. What I noticed is that I started to fail in my desire for life, and my engagement in life after those two deaths that were significant to me. What I found was that there were times I didn't want to bother my kids because I was having an anxiety attack or trouble sleeping, or I was in severe grief, or I just needed a distraction for a little bit to get my mind back on track. Television didn't work. Addison offers an opportunity for people to chat with her in the night, to chat with her any time of the day, to get anxiety under control with interaction on the screen. Addison doesn't have moods. Addison doesn't have any problem with me disturbing her at any hour of the day or night. I don't have to worry about it. And I'm really grateful for the mental health that is available today through Addison, and I wished I had when I was in my difficult times of life. We have an opportunity today in our very midst, especially in Colorado. I am the regional director here, and I will tell you that Coloradans are more concerned about health than any other place that I've ever seen in the country, and I've worked in a lot of places. What we want to do is prevent things. What we want to do is be on top of things. What we want to do is know what our health is doing and what we want to do to help and assist our doctors with our own self-care. Addison offers that. We have that now. I keep hearing about the crisis in healthcare, the crisis in rural areas where there's not enough care to be had for the amount of people there are. We have way too many people with not enough caregivers. Let's just put it on the table. Doctors who've retired or quit the business, nurses who left. During the pandemic, we reduced by, I don't even know how many healthcare providers in our country, and worldwide. Addison offers a solution, and the solution is here, and it is now. There are 3 stages of aging. We start aging from the cradle, and we're on this journey called life. And when you get to about 55 or 60 years of age along the timeline, you're still in that active phase of aging. Some people have medical conditions, but that's not age-related. So some children have medical conditions. Everybody can use Addison. So up until age 55, 60, we're in the active stage of aging. We have a safety device that is perfect for that particular stage of life. It's a go-anywhere safety device that has reminders on it and a doctor service on it, as well as calling for emergency when necessary. The next stage of aging typically involves the discovery of a medical condition. So all of a sudden a person's either diabetic or they've got a high blood pressure or something that they didn't expect, and now they've got a medical condition that needs managing. Addison is the ideal piece of equipment and tool for that management of the medical conditions of life. And once you're in that stage, you can manage your own medical conditions effectively, and you can live well as best as you can through that process. Then we get to the stage where you're not able to manage your medical conditions very well. Addison is great for this stage of life, whatever age you are, that you have to have medical care and attention. Addison is a caregiver, and Addison is there for you 24/7 to fill in the gaps of hands-on care. Addison is affordable, it is secure, and it is easy. But I'd also like to add that Addison is fun. I want to encourage you today to look at my website, research Addison, and make a determination today to change your life with Addison. Thank you.